Hi, this is Alkan, and welcome back to my channel. Well, I was doing some errands today, and I happened to pass by the newsstand at 7-Eleven, and I see this wonderful article in front of me from the New York Post with the MTA and CEO chairman, this Lieberman guy. He just got his $9 congested pricing BS under his belt now. He's collecting $9 out of people. And at the same time, he makes a remark like this or whatever it was. I don't know if you can see it. But he's saying that the crime in the subway is all in our heads. You said the crime in the subway is all in our heads. Wow. Isn't that something? We're making all this up. Oh, really? Then explain this one. Did we make this up in our heads too? I don't think so. This is a real story. This is a real incident. A passenger was torched and burned to death by an illegal immigrant. And that Lieberman guy is just like the governor of New York, Kathy Hochul, tone deaf and stupid. I used to work for this agency, and let me tell you, there were several reasons why I wouldn't come back working for the MTA ever again. I was retired in 2018. Number one, I knew the crime was going to be a problem if I were to come back. And I try to avoid that as much as I can. I hadn't been on the subway quite a while by myself. In fact, the only time I was in the subway at all was the holiday train. And even then, we had an incident on board, the holiday train. And then the week after that, somebody gets pushed in front onto the tracks around the holiday train. So yeah, it's problems. And I'm sorry, but there was other reasons, including there's some people who are just like Lieberman, a total bunch of effing jackass assholes. I don't want to work for them ever again. All right, I can't stand them. I want nothing to do with them. I do not care. My pension is no longer controlled by them, so I don't just give a shit what they have to say. The system is not safe. If I hadn't been on there for quite a while, it's for a good reason. Your crime is out of control. You saying it's all in our heads? No, it's not in all our heads. When you see articles like this keep popping up over and over again, this is not in our heads, sir. People getting pushed onto the tracks. People getting stabbed. Oh, yeah, like Mr. Banks or whatever fungal this clown is. He had about, I found out now, 87 arrests for different types of crimes, including the use of the knives. And he's been released a lot of times. And now the 2 extra stabbings before he got arrested makes it 89. And I bet you a majority of those incidents occurred in Manhattan, where a wonderful Manhattan DA, Alan Braggs, which I call the Empire Penguin, doesn't like to prosecute real criminals. He likes to prosecute fake criminals, like Donald J. Trump, or Daniel Penny, or that poor bodega worker who was trying to protect himself from somebody upset because he took the 50-cent chip out of his daughter's hands. Yeah, that's why the incident occurred, over a bag of chips. Okay? Another BS. Now I bet you he's gonna try to find a way to lose to Luigi Mangini, whatever his name is, the CEO killer. But that's a different story for another time. I mean, could you imagine somebody did that to Lawrence G. Reuter after all the bullshit that he has done for the New York City Transit? Oh my gosh. We will never hear the end of it. And no, I do not recommend violence. Thank you very much. This is not a program to promote violence. And that's why I'm not talking about Luigi throughout this whole video. The thing is, the violence is being portrayed on the writing public and the employees in the transit system. And to me, that $9 congestion pricing is just going to add more fuel to the fire. And to make matters worse, now that he got the $9, we also need to plug a $33 billion deficit. You couldn't use the $9 for that? No, we need new taxes and new fees to pay for it. He's going out to Albany asking for this. So, the scam artist who already took your $9 is now trying to get more money out of your pocket in order to fund another deficit. And yet, the guy who does the audits, what's he doing? Why is he not clamping down harder on the MTA when they screw up financially? It's unbelievable. I don't think they're operating this agency correctly. And I know it's not going to the employees. Yeah, we have a lot of employees, but then we have how many subway lines? Over 20? And that's a large system. It's not like Metro North or Long Railroad. We have more ridership, but we have more mileage. End to end, if you took our tracks from New York west, you either reach Chicago or Detroit. That's how long it is. And it takes a lot of people, not just to operate trains and open the closed doors. You need people to clean. You need people to do the maintenance. You need people to sell fares. You need people to maintain both the MetroCard and the Albany machines and the turnstiles and all the other stuff you don't see. Yes, the equipment has to be maintained. I'm just talking about the subway, and I'm not even talking about the buses. That's a whole different level there. But yeah, that's a large system too. But then you got track, you got third rail, you got plumbing, you got electrical, you have ironworkers, all kinds of people employed there. That's a huge agency. Of course, the funny thing is, we're not paid as much as Long Island Railroad Metro North. You would think that, right? No. Yeah, the king of overtime is your commuter lines. We're just at the bottom of the pile. We're probably just underneath Staten Island Railway. And then, I don't know which one comes next, Long Island Railroad Metro North, but... And of course, Long Island Railroad had this. Oh yeah, it's a very expensive project that took over how many years before they finally opened it up a few years ago, and that's how I ended up with the hat. If I got the hat when they opened this thing up originally, this hat would be gone by now. Oh yeah, but then of course Long Island Railroad had their history of shenanigans, putting their hands in the cookie jar where they didn't belong. You couldn't do that in New York City Transit because they're very tight with the pennies. And they suspect you to doing that. Oh yeah, they'll send the attorney, the IG on you. Let's say you took off a workman comp and you were playing drums in a band someplace. Yeah, they'll send somebody to find you and make a case against you and bust you. Now Metro no longer rebel. No. Special no longer rebel. They had a scam that was lasting for decades. People were what is it? Filing for injuries and getting extra pay. We can't do that on Subway. But then again, those guys were after they get the disabilities, they're going to the golf course. Before you say anything, no, they were never busted at a Trump golf course. That's ironic, isn't it? Oh my goodness gracious. I used to say to myself, why didn't I go work for PATH? I would have gotten out of there in 20 years and I would have got a nicer pension, but no. Subway was right there. Yeah, when I get out of it, it's a smaller pension and reminders of aches and pains from past assaults. I got post-traumatic stress disorder from assaults and 12 nines, one mine, and one wasn't my 12-9, but came close. I missed operating that train by 10 minutes. That 12-9 that was Kendra Woodell was pushed in front of an oncoming train by a person with mental illness. They would not put in the platform barriers back then. It took over another almost 20, more than 20 years before another incident, before they start putting barriers in. It shows you how much they really care about the public. They don't. Lieberman and Kathy Hochul, let me put it this way. If they didn't care about what happened to Peanuts the Squirrel and Fred the Raccoon, like a lot of other people on the left who are tone deaf and stupid, they don't care about you either. They act like they do. Oh, they show up at photo ops and act they're real nice and everything. And remember, they're walking around with their own security. You can't walk around with your own security, armed security on a train, can you? No. They don't want you to carry your own gun. Oh no, you can't. A lot of the areas in New York is gun-free zones. How did that work? Well, ask the CEO of United Healthcare. Well, actually, it's kind of hard to ask him when he's got plugged a couple times in the back in a no gun-free zone. Yeah, the sign was there, but it didn't do anything to stop Luigi from shooting him in the back. I mean, I'm sure Luigi must have seen the sign and he was cracking up laughing sometime afterwards. I said, oh, look at these stupid people. They think this sign is going to stop me from shooting the guy in the back. No. And then you wonder why these folks are supporting Luigi. And if you're wondering, yeah, we had incidents where the big brats of the MTA almost got assassinated by somebody with a gun. They were lucky. But unlike the CEO of United Healthcare, whose luck ran out, they had security. And the CEO, whatever reason he didn't, I mean, could you imagine Kenny Lay of Enron walking around with no security after the Enron scandal broke out? No, no way. No way they were going to let that man walk around without security. No. And Enron is a Texas company, so you know they're going to be armed. So you couldn't even sneeze on him without the security whacking you. So, something that Luigi should be grateful for. So, folks, when the MTA keeps saying, "Oh, we need to improve service and all these wonderful things, and we just need a little more money, and a little more money after that, and the top a little money," remember, these folks do not care about you, and they had the nerve to put it in the newspaper. So this is Alcan saying so long for now, and don't forget your stop.